So, merry meet everyone. And thank you so much for bringing your energy to the sixth annual Cups Hurricane Protection Ritual. We have pre recorded the actual ritual so that everyone on Zoom can get the full effect. And I hope you are ready to make some noise. Those of you who have participated in this ritual before know that it can get loud. And we need to let the powers that be know we are here. Ow! So, June 1st marks the beginning of hurricane season. And if you have not done so already, you should be preparing yourself an emergency kit. Now, just to let you know, the Dollar Tree is tax free until June 6th on all hurricane supplies. So if you need candles, batteries, um, anything of that nature that they have lots of canned goods. I was in there the other day. So you can get everything you need there tax free. All right. So make yourself an emergency kit and think about where you would go if you are in an evacuation area. These are just the basic preparations that hurricane season should alert us to. Think about what you would need if you were stuck in your home for 3+ days. Now, we all spent a year in our homes, so we know. But now think about what you would need if you did not have any electricity. That is a different story. You want fresh batteries in those flashlights, and you want them sprinkled around the house just in case, because sometimes there's no warning when that electricity goes out. And I would imagine if I lived 100 years ago, I would be better at this. But I always seem to walk into a dark room and then look for the flashlights. But that's not the way you're actually supposed to do it. So have them in places around the house. Um, Last year, we had 28 named storms. So many that so many that this year they have prepared two lists of names. So the National Hurricane Center is ready for 52 possible named storms. We don't want anything near that. All right. But they have done us a favor by reminding us that nature is big and we are small. We also need to remember that the majority of humans have lost touch with the weather spirits. They think they can rely on modern tracking and hurricane codes to keep them safe. And it's true. We have it a lot better than people did in this area 500 years ago. But if we were still nomadic, all of us would just pick up and move at different times of the year. But that's not an option for many of us. We're not all snowbirds. But those of us that are in evacuation areas really need to think about this seriously and take it seriously. Hurricanes spin widdershins in the Northern Hemisphere. They are the crones of our weather. And as such, they call for our respect in that their powerful destruction actually brought about our creation. Just as the crone represents death and rebirth, so does the hurricane. by churning up the elements, nutrients, and seeds, distributing them and redistributing these vital components of life. The crone hurricane brings life through destruction. She asks for our respect, and we do well to give it. Of course, we want to make friends with this crone. And during our ritual, we will hear from Crone Hurricane, as well as Lady Florida and Mother Gaia. These are entities that we need to have respect for and create relationship with, so that when the hurricane threatens us, we can turn it with our energies. We have a relationship with those elements. And in the, as Birch puts it, we go shoo shoo to those hurricanes. You're going to see us do that later too. So, in addition to the hurricane protection ritual, which we will be viewing a little later, we make our hurricane protection candles at this time of year. If you have gathered the necessary materials, we're going to make them together now. And then we can hold them while we consecrate them during the ritual. We wear them around our necks in the ritual. All right. So let's look at what we need. Okay. We need a candle that is not in glass because we're going to scratch on it. And the best thing that I've found for this is these dollar store candles. They're white. There's 6 for $1. You can't beat that. So that's this right here, dollar store candles. We need a nail or a needle, something to scratch on that candle with. We need some olive oil, right? And some cinnamon. We need a bag that's just big enough for our candle to fit in. And we need some embellishments. Now, we're going to add some herbs tonight. This mixture that we made our candle with is sage and basil. And the basil came from Suzette's garden. So that makes it extra special. But you can add charms or crystals or anything that you collect through the season. We are not going to tie these bags closed because this is a useful tool. We're going to use this through the hurricane season. Okay. And as you go through the season, you might find things that you want to put in the bag, such as if we have a named storm and it rains at your home, you could collect a little bit of that water in a vial and put that in there, put that hurricane energy in there. Okay. And then you need a cord so that you can wear the bag as a necklace during the ritual. And you may want to just wear it if we go through a hurricane, you may want to just wear it as a charm. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about why we used all these things, okay? What does this all mean? Well, first, we have the white candle. And of course, white can be used in place of any color. So we can take this candle and we can say, okay, this is for protection. Doesn't matter, maybe it would be better if it was red or brown, but it doesn't matter. It's white. It can mean anything. And traditionally, white is meditation, consecration, initiation, divination, healing, truth, peace, innocence, clairvoyance, spirituality. This is a spirit candle. And again, we are going to use this candle to intervene and communicate our wishes to the weather spirits. So I think white is a very appropriate color. All right. I want to also make a point now that this is a hurricane protection candle and a hurricane protection ritual. This is not prevention because we cannot stop the weather. We can only live with the weather. And that's very important. You would not want to stop hurricanes because, as we said, they are the crones. They provide the winds and rain that that provide our seasons, our drinking water, our crops. They're very important. Tropical storms are very important, but what we do want is to tell the powers that be is that we want to protect our homes during this time. That's what these are for. Okay. So we're going to use a steel, got it here somewhere, a steel nail. There it is. Either if you're using a needle or a nail, it's probably made of steel. And although this is a modern metal, so it doesn't have any magic history behind it, it is metal, and metallurgy is quite magical. That's a presentation all to itself. But steel is a projective metal. In sympathetic magic, you've got projective and you've got receptive. Projective is male energy, protection energy. So that's a good metal to use. And it will deflect negative energies as well. So many times after we use this to scratch the candle, you can actually just throw it in your bag for that extra protection, right? Now, sigils is what we're going to be drawing on the candle, okay? So think about what you want to express on your candle. This no sign, no hurricanes, of course, right? That would be the best case scenario. No damage, right? No loss. This is a rune. It's a rune of protection. Of course, this is a pentacle, pentagram. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit. The Triskelion can also be used. Maiden, mother, crone, triple goddess. And then the hurricane symbol right here. So no hurricane, that would be good. You can also write words on your candle, like may your windows hold. That is our battle cry. Now, using the olive oil is ruled by the sun and fire and draws peace, healing, and protection. You're going to see a theme going on here. Lots of sun, lots of fire. So we're going to bring the light to this hurricane season. Lots of protective and masculine energy. We are asking for a lot from this candle because nature and weather is such a daunting adversary. We don't want it to be an adversary. We want it to be an ally. So we want to make a powerful front and form a relationship with them, with the weather spirits. Okay, cinnamon. That's an excellent all-purpose herb spice also. more sun and fire, vast array of properties, but we can focus on home protection when we use cinnamon. Okay. Sage, of course, gives us mental clarity, cleansing, and protection. And we definitely want cool heads when we're under the stress of hurricane season. There's no need to panic. We know what to do. We've been through this before. All right. Basil has the properties of happiness and banishes depression. And that's very important to leave on our candle, because when the time comes for us to light this candle, we want to have, definitely to have good spirits, uh, a good feeling, confidence that this storm is not going to do damage to our homes. It is going to turn. So be it. You can also put some lavender in there for the calming effects and reduce some stress. And rosemary. Rosemary is like a white candle. It can actually be used in place of any other herb, but it's primarily used for protection, healing, and cleansing. So definitely we want to put some rosemary in there. And then whatever smells good to you, because it's important that when the time comes that you light this, you know, your mood is not super stressed and looking for disaster. No, blue skies. Our windows will hold. So let's do it. If you're making the candle with us tonight, pick up your nail and your candle. See? And make your sigils. I'm going to put a no. And I'm going to put a hurricane. No hurricane. There we go. I'm going to write May our windows hold. May not be the best handwriting, but the powers that be will get the message. I'm going to put pentagram. I'm going to put a protection rune. I'm going to put the triskelion. I'm just going to do it up. I want to cover all my bases. There we go. No. There. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to take a little bit of this olive oil. You don't need much. Pouring it over the plate just in case. Just dab your finger in it. And spread the olive oil on your candle. So now we're adding that strength and protection, that sun and fire energy to our candle. See? Very nice. Now, here comes the magic. We're going to use cinnamon. I'll pour some out on my dish. Now what happens with the oil, now the cinnamon's going to stick. So you dip your finger in there. And we're going to go from the edge, from this end to the middle. And look what happens, just like magic. Pop it in there. Your sigils appear. Go from this end to the middle. The reason why we're going from the ends to the middle is that in candle magic, that will raise the energy. Right? And I was asked, why don't we go this way to get rid of the hurricanes? Well, if that's your intention, you know, that's a good one. But what we're putting in here is strength and protection. And we want that to stay in the candle. We want to raise the strength and protection. So then we come from the bottom and we go up like this. Right? Get that all nice. Okay. Good. Going to get a little bit messy, but that's okay. Now we're going to take our bag. Put our candle in the bag. And put our herbs and trinkets, whatever you have. You can add seashells. You can add charms. You can add other herbs. Anything that means strength, protection to you. You see how all those herbs are right there with that candle. It's gonna marinate in that concoction until it's needed. And yes, I'm going to drop my nail in there. A little bit of steel. Okay. Now I'm going to close it, but I'm not going to tie it because we're going to need this again. All right. But I'm going to put this string through the loops and tie that. Okay. So now I can wear this as we watch the ritual. I can hold on to it. All right. So we're going to bless this. I would like everyone to unmute now so that I can hear you repeat after me, if you will. Ready?
Yes.
Hurricanes spin witter sheet.
Spin with a sheet.
Hurricanes spin witter sheets.
With a chain.
They banish the dead and dying stuff.
They banish the dead and dying stuff.
stuff.
Blow away all negativity.
Blow away all
negativity.
negativity.
But limbs and leaves are quite enough.
But limbs and leaves are quite enough.
My home is a living thing.
My home is a
living
thing.
Its heartbeat strong with love and life.
Its heart is strong with love and life.
Wind, see the difference and let it be.
Wind, see the difference and let it be.
Rain, soak the earth, but spare me strife.
Rain, soak the earth, spare me strife.
The goddess stands within my walls.
The goddess stands within my walls.
My windows hold strong and true.
My windows hold strong and true.
My roof stays put despite the squalls.
My roof stays put despite the squalls.
When Mother Nature transforms anew.
When Mother Nature transforms anew.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
So how are we going to use this candle? Well, when the storm threatens, be ready to join us as we need to turn the storm. Now that we have a Zoom room, I would say we should meet here if a storm is coming near. and do use our candles together. When we do that, we will take the candle out of its bag, brush off some of this, put it in a little holder, or you can hold it in your hand because we don't. You may want to leave it lit if you want to put it in a holder and leave it lit and burn all the way down. Depends on the need. If we got a Cat 5 heading our way, leave it burned to the bottom and make yourself a new candle. We're going to need it. But sometimes we just light the candle, say the prayer, and then encourage each other a little bit and go back to our lives, right? But when we do that, we're going to ground, calm ourselves down, and recite these words. Mother Goddess, please take some of the energy from this most powerful storm and send it out to where it is most needed. Transform the destructive forces into waves of love and light. So mote it be. And in that way, we are asking for a transformation, not for a banishment. We understand that storms are necessary, but we also want it understood that our homes should not be sacrificed for that. And that is the balance, the dance that we do with Mother Nature here in South Florida and the storms. All right. So now that we have our candles and we put them on, get ready. I have been asked, why do I raise energy like that? I said, well, because we have to
Works.
fun with those things. We have to understand them, those weather spirits. You know, we need a relationship with them. So we raise up that energy, but whoop, in the eye of the storm with the goddess, we are calm and safe.